To create a process screen to show your alarms, go to WinCC Explorer, highlight Graphics Designer, and create a new Graphics Designer document. You can see we've already created one called Alarms PDL, so we'll open this in Graphics Designer. When the page opens, go into your Objects palette and choose the WinCC Alarm Control. When you let it go, a quick configuration dialog will come up, allowing you to give your alarm window a title, and you can choose whether or not to display your toolbar and status bar. When you want to do more advanced configurations, double-click on the window and get the Advanced Properties control. Here we can define what type of window this is. Message window shows current alarms, where short-term and long-term archive windows show alarms that have occurred in the past. We'll leave this at default. The Parameters tab allows us to define horizontal and vertical separation lines, giving the appearance of a grid. I can also choose line selection so that my operator can choose individual alarms for acknowledgement. I can set the properties of my font on my Font tab. The Toolbar tab allows me to define which toolbar tools I'd like to display and which I do not. I'll leave up my Process Message window, short-term and long-term archive buttons, but I'll turn off my lock and horn acknowledgement. I'll also make sure that my info text, comment, and loop-in alarm buttons are also enabled. My message line allows me to define what type of message data is presented to my operator when an alarm occurs. Message lines and message blocks are things like date, time, message number, status, and message text. You can see that by default, date, time, and number are displayed. I'll get rid of number by moving it to the left, and I'll add in message text by moving it to the right. Now only the date, time, and text of the message will be displayed to the operator. When finished, I can press OK and save the page. In runtime, you can see that the alarm object appears as we've configured it. The alarms pop in. I can move the column widths to get them the way that I like it. I can use my acknowledgement buttons to acknowledge the alarms. Also, I'll need to check my info text buttons to make sure this works, and also my archive buttons to view the contents of my archives. Lastly, I'll test my loop-in alarm button by selecting the alarm and choosing loop-in alarm. You can see that it takes us to the process window that we've configured for this alarm.